That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And this is episode 57 of the show. And we'd like to ask if you could leave some reviews, rate, subscribe if you could. That would be great. I'll shut up now about that. But you guys didn't come here.
Enough.
You guys didn't come here to rate, review, and subscribe to us. You came to listen to some spooky stories, which we do have right now. But we always start off with some spooky news. Not spooky, strange news. Because I have right here, photo of taco bookmark from Indiana Library goes viral. So apparently this Indiana Library got a book in its little drop-off slot. And it was like a donation book. And the book was, what was the book? It was called Nonsense Songs and Stories. And they opened up the book, and they found a very interesting bookmark as a taco was sandwiched in between the pages.
Hard shell?
It's a soft shell.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
It holds form. You want to hear? This is what it looks like. It looks like a whole taco still. Everything's still in it.
It almost looks like a
I would eat
quesadilla.
I would eat that.
I would eat it.
Is that bad? So, they're very mad about it because those bookworms, they get very mad when you desecrate their books. But they said they've also found other bizarre bookmarks, including uncashed paychecks, credit cards, $50 or $100 bills, and of course, panty liners.
You know what I use for a bookmark?
What?
Our stickers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I used the receipt I bought the book with.
Yeah, I either do the receipt or one of our Camp Strange stickers.
I used to have a bookmark that was, the kind that move when you turn them and then when you scratch across them, it goes.
You talking about holographic things?
Yeah. It was like a monkey crawling across a little vine.
Ooh.
It was cute.
Was it realistic or was it like a cartoon?
No, it was a realistic monkey.
Okay, that's cool then.
Yeah, it was very cool.
I was going to say, if it's some cartoon shit, I don't want to see it. But now I want to see it. What type of monkey was it? Was it a baboon?
I think
Was it a gibbon?
baby orangutan.
Ooh, I like those.
Yeah, he was like kind of like bald on the top,
But he's got like a few. He's got
Bald
the Homer Simpson kind of thing where it's like sticking up.
Yeah, he's got like a little mohawky thing, but
beautiful,
super big head on him. But so these bookworms are really, really mad, and of course, like now every food company is like trying to ride this meme train.
Why not?
So like Chex Mix is like, don't have a bookmarks, try using Chex Mix, and they just like took a picture of a book and then crunched a bunch of Chex Mix in it, and then like chicken wings got involved. Steakums put a frozen beef patty in the book.
Wait, is Steakums a dog treat?
No, it's called Steak. I think it's a burger place.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not dog food. It's definitely like a
Sounds
square.
like a fucking dog
It's a
treat.
rectangular frozen patty they put in. But my favorite, of course, Oreo. Keeping it classy by literally just shoving a bunch of Oreos and then dumping milk all over it.
Good.
It's really good.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that's keep your books, keep your food in your mouth and your books
in your mind.
And that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you got? What kind of weird news you got?
So, me personally, I'm a huge fan of football at any level, really. College, NFL. And for people who are familiar with the NFL, there is a player named Antonio Brown who has been in the headlines a lot for various things, just all over the fucking place. And I found an article that says Pittsburgh doctor claims Antonio Brown repeatedly farted in his face and owes him $11,500.
Wait.
Oh, and the headline picture is so good because it's when he had the yellow mustache. He dyed his mustache yellow at one point.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
I have what kind of doctor is? I'm hoping that he's a butt doctor. Or there's a lot more questions I have.
I mean, if I had to guess, it would probably be someone who's working on like maybe his hamstring or something.
Oh, and he just kept farting.
Maybe
it's not illegal to fart on someone, is it?
I don't know.
You want to find out?
I've got a quote here that says, "It seems childish to me. I'm a doctor, and this man is farting in my face."
Okay, this guy needs to get off his high horse now. Like, literally anybody could catch a fart to the face. I don't care if you're a doctor or a football player or just, a humble Steakums employee. You can catch a fart to the face.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess this was very close to his face.
Yeah, but like he said numerous times, right? And where do you get the? Is he reporting like psychological damage due to the farts? That's why he wants $11,000, or do you think like he calculated the time, like he had to walk away from the farts, and then like that was his time as a doctor for like, you know what I mean? Like he's calculating the time.
Well, what it says is that apparently Antonio Brown is famous for not paying bills.
He's a fucking football. He's an NFL football player. What the fuck is he doing where he can't pay the bill?
Yeah. Okay. So he was testing his body fat is when it happened.
Okay, that's not very much money. I feel like.
Yeah.
So he's not even suing him for like the farts. He's suing him just for the unpaid bills.
Yeah, I think so, and I think he just added in the fact that he kept ripping wind in his face.
That's how you get a headline though. If you're just like Antonio Brown's not paying his hospital bill, no one wants to hear about that. But if you're just like,
now's the time to do it.
yeah, my mouth was open and he fucking farted, and yeah, I'm gonna read that article and then be like, that was kind of fucked up, Antonio. But
Yeah.
the fart was funny. That's cool.
It's funny, but also
Tasty.
sorry for the victim.
No, he's a doctor. I don't feel bad for him.
He's a doctor. It seems kind of childish.
Yeah, you have to deal with that kind of. It comes with the territory. Come on, there's people that clean up poop and pee. You know, you could deal with a little fart, a little poop air. You know?
Yeah.
And speaking of stomachs, woman swallows engagement ring in sleep, thinking it was all a dream.
I've always feared about that.
Yeah,
Eating shit in my sleep, like sometimes.
eating shit in your sleep.
Well, I like to sleep with like headphones in sometimes because I like to listen to stuff when I sleep, and I'm always kind of like, I wonder if I'll ever accidentally like swallow one of these.
Oh, I didn't think about. Wait,
Because I use the little earbuds.
why the fuck would you? Oh, wait,
I use the AirBud things.
Oh, okay, those ones you could swallow.
Yeah, because they could follow your ear and you could roll over and it could just, roll right in your mouth and I could just swallow that bad boy and then I could be playing the Beach Boys in my belly.
I would like to think that I would instinctively spit out anything that's in my mouth, but you never know what the dream's going to unfold into, because this lady, she described her dream.
Okay.
So this is a San Diego woman, and just for context, this is a 2.4 carat diamond.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's a lot or a little, but it looks nice.
Has carrot in the name.
Yep. So, and you can't eat this kind of carrot.
Hey-o.
So she was dreaming that she was like on a train. Like she's been watching too much playing too much Red Dead Redemption or whatever, because she was on the train and she thought robbers were robbing it. So she popped that puppy off, stuck it in her mouth, and then swigged some water and swallowed it.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Where's my ring?" And then she's like, "Oh, like that was a dream. Like that wasn't real. Like I just dreamt that." So she went back to sleep, woke up the next morning, and she's like, "Where's my ring?" And then she's like, "Holy fuck, I actually swallowed it." So she went to the doctors, and they said that it was like safer to go in through her throat and take it out than just wait for it to come
pass.
out. Oh, because it's a diamond. Those things are sharp. It's the sharpest minerals or just objects.
Yeah.
Diamond cut things. Yeah, you cut. There's some like blades that have like little diamond like as the blade.
Yeah.
Do
you ever do weird shit in your sleep that you like know what's going on, but you still do it because you like think it's right because you're half asleep, and then next morning you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah, I take my comforter off my bed a lot, and I'll like carry it outside the room, or like what's another one time I don't know if I told you this already, but like one time I like woke up and I was holding my TV like over my head, like on my back, kind of.
Okay.
It was like on my back.
Yeah,
I was like
got you.
carrying
On
it.
your haunch.
Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of weird. I've eaten a lot of stuff. I've like eaten like spoonfuls of peanut butter and stuff like that.
I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah.
I have a weird thing that in my bedroom we have a tall bookshelf, and there's a fantasy football trophy up there, which, as much as I'd love to say I have not won that, but I built it.
Oh.
And I've just been too lazy to mail it. Sorry, Charlie.
Oh.
And
Sorry, Charlie.
I'll like wake up and think that it's like too windy in my room or something.
Not the wind again.
Because we have the AC unit on.
Is Antonio Brown in there fucking blowing some ass?
And I get up and I take it off the bookshelf and I just put it on the ground. I've done that like 3 times.
Okay, that's fair. I've done that shit before too, where like you see something and like my biggest thing is like either people are watching me from like my windows or trying to get into my room, so I'll fuck with the curtains a lot.
Yeah.
I'll like move the curtains thinking that like I'm trying to block somebody from like watching me sleep or something.
That's fair. You have like a walkway right next to your window.
Yeah. I wonder if I eventually ever get to like a second floor, that fear will go away a little bit more.
Probably.
But, then everybody's just gonna go buy a ladder and come spy on me.
I mean,
you know that.
You can get a drone at a gas station these days.
They say 50% of ladders sold in the United States are used to spy on Alex Tobin.
Do they say that?
They say
I
that.
feel like I saw that in a headline.
It was in a headline. Anyway.
Is this my turn?
Yeah, you got another one?
Oh yeah. So fire sparks mass explosion of a semen.
What?
It
What?
Fire sparks mass explosion of semen at cattle breeding center.
Wait.
So something happened where they had a room full of but cattle semen, and there was an explosion, which I believe sent the said semen flying through the air.
Well, I was trying to figure out like what was the cow semen in like just regular like plastic things, or like did like
Big old bins, just garbage bins.
just like I was just wondering if things next to them exploded, or if they were like in some kind of like pressurized like. I don't know how that happened, but did anybody get hit, I guess is my biggest question. Or is it just like we found the splatter effect on like the next door buildings, you know? Some guy's like, it's raining, John.
Well, the explosion was definitely like the building is fucked. Like they knew that it happened.
Yeah, I guess like I don't really know what explodes in buildings when they do explode, but
Well, I got a quote right here that says, a lot of farmers would have a semen stock in the building. And those tanks, so they have tanks of it.
oh, okay, so that makes more sense. They're pressurized probably or something. I don't know.
I think it just kind of sounds like they don't really care about who the donor is. They're just like, add it to the vat.
Really?
They got a big old wooden spoon. There's a guy up there stirring it around.
No, they probably just got like that's probably one time. You know cows, right?
Yeah, no,
You know cows.
Yeah.
But they probably just have like their prized cattle. You know what I mean? Like their biggest,
the big boys.
Yeah, and they're like, get in the vet.
Yeah, this happened at 3 a.m.
Really?
Oh, could you imagine having to dealing with this situation at 3 a.m.?
Speaking of a dream I've had. Just kidding. But anyway, that's fucking disgusting. Where was that? Where was that so I don't have to go there? Walmart?
I'm not seeing an actual location.
Walmart now has a cow semen branch.
Yeah.
No, but that's...
it was not in America, so you don't have to worry.
Oh, that's cool. Probably Spain. They have a lot of bulls and cows over there, right?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, let's just say it's Spain.
Yeah, why not?
Nice going, Spain.
Way to go, guys.
Anyway, let's get in these longer stories we have for you, because that is all the news that we ever need to know in the world. Politics, fuck politics. I need to know about my cow semen.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we get into this, let me tell you about this. You ever heard of coffee, David?
Like the thing you bury people in?
Yeah. Now they're making it for Spring Heel Jack coffee.
Oh.
Coffeens. So if you guys like
Coffins?
Spring Heel Jack and you like coffee and you like being buried alive, drink some Spring Heel Jack because it's actually really good coffee. I swear by it. It's very tasty and I drink it every morning. So I can't complain with this sponsorship because it's keeping me alive and it's keeping these stories coming. So if you guys like coffee, go check them out at springheeljack.coffee. David, yes, .coffee.
.coffee, that's a thing, I guess.
And go check them out. They're great. So let's get into these stories now. Now, David, first off, I would like to warn you that my story is about talent. So you may get lost not knowing too much about that subject.
Yeah, I have no
Boom,
talent.
roasted. Fuck you. Anyway, but really, David, was there anything...
How's your writing career?
Fuck you. I'm not trying. So, but really, David, was there anything growing up that you really wanted to do, but you just weren't good at?
Making my parents happy, proud,
Perfect. So,
passing a test.
so, for some people, they want to be doctors, but they just don't have the stomach for it. Others want to be comedians, but they just... What?
I just feel like that one's going to strike too close to home for some of our friends and listeners.
But like I said, others want to be comedians, but they just happen to be missing that vital funny bone that's needed. While some want to be musicians, but they just don't have that perfect ear for music. Now, David, if you're born not naturally good at something, what do you do?
Start a podcast.
Boom, roast us.
I'm boiling over here.
Some may say practice, some may say hard work, and some may even say persistence. But I have a secret for you that is a surefire way of obtaining that talent you so desperately seek. You must go to the one who deals in technique, talent, and glory. But remember, nothing this valuable is given for free. The only thing that is needed in exchange for endless prestige, recognition, and acclaim is a soul. This is the story of Robert Johnson's deal with the devil.
Oh.
Do you know about Robert Johnson?
I remember I saw a documentary about this that looked really good, and I
really?
didn't watch it, but it was like, I wanted to.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, for those of
He's
you...
the blues musician, correct?
He is a blues musician.
Okay.
So for those of you who don't know who, I'm not gonna front load this right now, but if you've seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou,
Great movie.
yeah,
I remember when that movie, what year do you think that came out? Like
2005.
Oh no, I think it was earlier than that.
You think?
I would say like 2001.
Oh, maybe.
I remember like seeing it and thinking like, oh, it's just a religious movie, I don't watch it. And then I watched it again like probably like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was like, holy shit, this is a good movie.
Yeah, it's with George Clooney, John Turturro, and who's the guy that plays Pendansky in Holes? He's really good. Oh God, he's really good. I like him a lot.
I don't remember.
He's like the short, scrawny guy.
It came out in 2000.
Oh wow, that's such a long time ago. George Clooney looks really young in it.
Yeah,
So,
it's a Coen's brother movie, which it's probably good.
Yeah, Coen brothers.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah, him. He's really good. So if you guys have seen that movie, there's a part in that movie where they're driving and they see a guy at these crossroads holding a guitar, and they throw him in the car, and he's a black gentleman, and they ask him like, "What are you doing out here?" And he's like, "Oh, I just made a deal with the devil." And it's just like a small little cameo, and then he's like, "What does the devil look like?" And they have like a little conversation in the car. But it's I didn't even know about that because it's been so long since I've seen that movie. I really have to rewatch that.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, but I was like, oh shit, that's such a cool little, little cameo they have in there. So those are the reasons that make those movies so good. All those like Coen brother weird little, whatever. So let me get into the story of Robert Leroy Johnson. So Robert Leroy Johnson was born May 8th, 1911 in Hazelhurst, Mississippi, to a very large family, as he was one of 10 children to parents Julia and Noah. It's crazy how many.
That's wild.
It's like, I can't even imagine having 10 kids and being rich. I'm not rich, but just like
being able to afford to take care of 10 kids.
But
like that's still like a lot.
Yeah, a lot of these families in the South, like at this time especially, like they just didn't have any money, and you're just like, wow, like where did how?
How did it happen? Like,
yeah, I don't know how like they survived and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So during this time in Mississippi, as most of us know, it was not ideal to be anything but a white man. So Robert had a rather difficult childhood, having to be moved around from Mississippi to Arkansas to Tennessee, and also renamed to escape lynch mobs. So I guess his dad, he had a couple like run-ins with, because he was a child at this point.
Yeah.
But the dad had a couple of run-ins with like
white supremacists,
well, not even that, just like white landowners who get in fights, and then like you're like, oh, we got into an argument. I have literally a group of people who are devoted to like killing anybody who's not a white man. You know what I mean? It's like fucking awful. So like you're fighting a already lost battle. So they just have to move. Everybody in the family like changed their name like 10 times. Like it's crazy. So even with such a difficult upbringing, Robert was able to receive a fine education and even thrived. Robert even took up the harmonica and jaw harp, and was, surprisingly, to most people, very good at both.
What's a jaw harp?
I knew you were going to ask that. That's why I have this.
Well, because anybody listening. Well, there you go. Boy, I hope that's coming up good in the audio.
So,
fuck, man.
You can't get sued if it's in the background. So, no, it's basically it's like a metal piece you put in your mouth, and you kind of like flick it and use your mouth as like kind of like how a guitar is hollow. You use your head to control like the sound of that.
Well, that thing looks nowhere close to what I was expecting.
Yeah, so
it's an interesting looking instrument.
Sounds like this. It's very like twangy. It's what you expect in like, the South,
2020, that's the year the jaw harp is going to come back.
It's already back, baby.
Quote me
You
on
just
that.
don't know about it. So, like I said, the jaw harp, he was really good at that, and the harmonica, which is, that's pretty impressive in itself.
Yeah.
So
That's one of those instruments that you can't just sound good. It's not an acoustic guitar. You can't just fuck around with it and it sounds halfway decent.
yeah, I still am baffled at people who could play the guitar and wear that thing on their neck and play the harmonica.
Yeah.
Or the piano, like Billy Joel, Bob Dylan. John Mayer did that. I just went to that concert and he fucking broke it out when he was playing piano with the harmonica.
And the Goombas from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
They have harmonica?
I feel like the one Goomba that was like a good Goomba. I think he had one of those. Like he was a good.
He
Goomba.
had a jaw harp.
I'm pretty sure. No, he had one of the harmonica things.
But like harmonica is actually the coolest instrument because you could play that in prison. You could play that on
an airplane and get kicked off.
no, like on a box car. You know what I mean? Like you can play it anywhere, but the problem is like if you're not good at it, it's really annoying because everybody just fucking shoves a harmonica in their mouth and they just go like they breathe out and they breathe in, and they breathe out, and they're like, oh, harmonicas are fun, but like, do you know that, like harmonicas have different keys too?
Yeah.
So in order to play like. You have to like buy a certain type of harmonica, and I was like, oh, I thought it was just like a universal sound. Like I didn't know.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a very strange instrument. And yes, the Goomba did play it in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I don't want to see this
You
monstrosity.
do, because that's what they thought a Goomba looked like,
that
apparently.
Goomba's so fucking disgusting.
Can we talk about how bad that
Movie?
that not just the movie, but how they took the beautiful little mushroom boy with little feet and no arms, and they turned them into a 10-foot giant with a tiny head.
And he's like a reptile too.
Yeah, I mean Bowser was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yoshi was pretty bad, but the Goombas were something else.
Anyway, so Robert Johnson. So Robert also tried his hand at guitar, but unfortunately, that didn't come as natural to him. And this is what sparked his interest in a deal. So after graduating from school in Memphis, he moved back to Robinsonville, Mississippi, where he would meet his wife Virginia Travis, who he would later go on to marry and have a baby with. Unfortunately, Virginia died in childbirth, and Virginia's family went on to blame Robert, stating that this was a divine punishment for Robert's decision to sing secular songs, which means singing songs that have no religious basis.
For the demons.
It's crazy though that like there's like this is the reason you played the harmonica and you sang about anything but God or like religion. Yeah. It's like that's why she died. I think the baby died as well, obviously.
Yeah,
but like it's so sad. Like
I mean, shit. Didn't people think the Beatles were satanic?
Yeah, people fucking hate any kind of new music that's not like what Yeah. Like hip hop is now what like rock was. People are just like fuck this is not music, and now hip hop's coming out and there's like. Not coming out, it's been out, but people are like, what is this,
The damn hippity hop.
There's going to be a new type of music that people are just going to hate.
No, I mean, we already got past dubstep, but...
That's true.
Ever since metal came out, people have really had a hard time putting the devil on any genre because they're just like, no, we claim that.
We own the devil.
That's us.
Yeah. Robert Johnson, the metal musician. No. So, like I said, the family blamed him for her death, which is really fucked up because he was probably very, very upset about this.
Yeah.
And doing this was actually known as selling your soul to the devil, quote unquote, which Robert accepted the phrase as a description of his resolve to abandon the settled life of a husband and farmer to become a full-time blues musician. So he was just like, yeah, that's kind of like what I represent is like, I'm not doing the standard what you guys want me to do. I'm going after like my music career, which was definitely like I feel like a lot of musicians back then who were like blues musicians, especially if you're like African American, you were kind of like on the fringes of society and being like, well, just get a job and work this, and then they're like, no, I want to like. It's like it was really hard. You're very poor if you're a musician.
Shit, dude. Just not being white was really hard for anybody doing anything.
Yeah, true. But I mean, especially like musicians like that. Like you can't play in any of the white clubs for the most part. It's like it's really hard. They're like street performers.
Yeah.
So around this time, the blues musician Son House, very cool name, SON House, moved to Robinsonville. Late in life, House would remember Johnson as a quote-unquote little boy who was a competent harmonica player, but an embarrassingly bad guitarist. So he's like, that's another reason you're just like, sure you want to be a musician, you're really, really bad at guitar. So
It's like most musicians that are professional can play the guitar.
yeah, they're like harmonica second. You learn that after the guitar.
Yeah.
You learn harmonica first. So Robert would watch Son House and his partner Willie Brown play the blues at the local spots, and when they took a break, he would use one of the guitars to play. And according to House, though, he was not good at all, and people would gossip and say, "Such a racket you never heard. Play the guitar. Oh, sorry. Get the guitar away from that boy. He's running people crazy with it." So everybody was just like, "Yo, you suck at the guitar."
Yeah.
And that would like deter me like instantly. I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, I should stop." But it didn't hit him. So soon after his poor guitar stint, Johnson left Robinsonville for the area around Martinsville, close to his birthplace, possibly searching for his natural father. But when he came back to Robinsonville 6 months later, he was different in the most impressive way possible. He could play the blues like no other. So, one of the more logical rumors says that he met up with Isaiah Ike Zimmerman, where he learned everything he knew. But even in this most logical version, Zimmerman was rumored to have learned supernaturally to play guitar by visiting graveyards at midnight. The real legend of Robert Johnson goes a little differently, though. It is said that one night, Johnson was walking down a pitch-black dirt road only illuminated by the moonlight when he came to a crossroads. All of a sudden, a large figure stepped out from beyond the shadows, greeting Robert with a deep, booming voice. Some say the devil was a large black man. Others say the devil was a white creature with black hollow eyes. But either way, he was there to make a deal. He's there to make a deal.
The game show.
Yeah. He's there to make... What's the one with the suitcases?
Yeah. Deal or no deal?
Yeah, that's it.
Such a dumb show. Which briefcase is it? Oh, is
What
it
if-
that? No. Is that one? No.
What if the devil was standing there with the briefcase and he opened it up and your soul is in it?
What if Steve Harvey was the
Howie,
devil?
Would Howie
Wait, who
Mandel?
hosts that? Oh, is it Howie?
Mandel.
God.
He is the devil if you really look at him. Wait, did you say
played that little
did you
monster,
say
wasn't
white creature with hollow eyes? Wait, that's Howie.
He tricks you with his charm. He was the little monster in that fucking movie, though.
He was. So the devil told Robert that in exchange for his soul, he would give him anything he wanted. So Robert asked for the skill of a legendary blues musician. The devil then took Robert's guitar, scorched his tears over the strings, tuned it, played a couple songs, and then gave it back to the man.
I thought the devil played a fiddle.
You know what? I kept thinking of that fucking song every single... Devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is inspired. So, the devil's taking somebody's soul is like a thing, before space and time. Really.
Kind of the thing he does.
Yeah, but the one thing that I kept thinking of is, did you ever see that SNL sketch with Will Ferrell where he plays the devil, and then Garth Brooks is like, "I can't write a hit song," and then like Will Ferrell comes in dressed as the devil, and he's like, I'll do it for your soul," and then the devil can't write a hit song. And
I
it's
don't
like-
think I did see that one.
well, I'll watch it after this.
Okay.
It's really fucking good. If you guys want to see that, SNL, Will Ferrell, the devil, it's like so fucking good. You type that into YouTube, you get it.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, he scorched it with tears, tuned it, played a couple songs, and then gave it back to the man. Robert looked down at the same old guitar, but felt a power behind it. Then he looked back up, and the devil was gone. When Johnson next appeared in Robinsonville, he seemed to have miraculously acquired a guitar technique. Son House was interviewed at the time when the legend of Johnson's pact with the devil was well known amongst blues researchers. He was asked whether he attributed Johnson's technique to this pact with the devil, and House's cryptic answer has been taken as confirmation of the exchange. After his now found gift, Johnson took his new talent to the road. So basically, they asked like this guy's son house. They're like, so like this whole like devil pact thing. Is that real? What like is that how he got his skill? And then he like said like some cryptic ass response, and he's like,
Well, the sun
Okay.
only rises in the east.
yeah. You're like, okay, I think he's a devil guy for sure. But yeah, so ever since like the people that knew him were like, there's no fucking way that he could have like learned this in 6 months.
Yeah.
He's like, he was so bad and now he's so good. It kind of takes away if he didn't have a pact with the devil.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I really tried like really hard and I stayed up all night and I played, and they're like, nope, deal with the devil.
20 hours a day of practice.
Yeah.
Nope.
Alex Rodriguez, deal with the devil.
Yep. LeBron James,
Deal with the devil. Any of your fave Robert Downey Jr.
deal with the devil.
Maybe actually deal with the devil because
Yeah,
he was doing pretty
Burger
bad.
King.
Burger King.
Burger King devil.
Burger King is the devil.
Angry Whopper.
So,
I love me an Angry Whopper.
so like I said, Johnson would now take his new talent on the road. So Johnson would go town to town playing on corners for tips, and the people loved it. He eventually moved up to clubs and gained a large popularity with the ladies. After both of his wives, I didn't tell you this. His second wife, when he came back with the guitar skills, his second wife got pregnant and died during childbirth.
Jesus.
So if that's not like another kind of like omen of
a bad seed.
what the fuck is going on? He just has big babies.
The babies are just too big.
It just comes out big. So like I said, he eventually moved up to clubs and gained a large popularity with the ladies. After both of his wives died in childbirth, he decided not to marry again and instead chose to stay in that single life. He would go from town to town, sleeping with ladies that watched his shows, staying at their places for the night since he didn't have much money. When he couldn't get a place to stay, he went after the more homely farm girls and would ask to stay with them. And they usually agreed until their boyfriends came home or they got or he got tired and moved on. So basically, when he was like, it was like 1:30. They just like last call. The lights are like slowly coming on. He's like, I couldn't get anybody. And he just sees this girl. She's hip deep in a trough.
She's homely.
She can't find her glasses and
I feel like you're talking about Velma.
yeah. Well, I don't know. She's got big Coke bottle glasses and she can't see nothing but a hog. So yeah, she.
Whoa.
Oh.
Jesus, dude.
No, she's a farm girl. She's
Okay.
a farm girl.
All right.
But maybe.
But
Maybe. So yeah, he would just like go and be like, hey, like, can I stay at your place? And there's like, oh, this like cool jazz musician wants to like hook up with me. Yeah, let's go. I don't care if I
Yeah.
have a boyfriend. And they just like go back to their place. And he's like, oh, sweet, I got a place for the night. Which is crazy because one of my friends did that for a while in San Francisco. He didn't have an apartment yet, and he was just like, he had like a couple girls.
dude,
he was
that's
seeing.
so sick.
Isn't that cool, dude? Fuck, it's 5-5. Oh, wait, missed. That's cool. He's dead now. I'm joking. He's not. No. So, in August of 1938, Johnson found himself playing near Greenwood, Mississippi at a dance gig. During the evening, Johnson was given a bottle of whiskey from which he eagerly drank. So, there's a couple stories behind this because apparently the first time somebody handed him a bottle of whiskey and somebody else knocked it out of his hand and went, "That's poisoned." And he went, "Don't you ever slap whiskey out of my hand again." And then somebody handed him another whiskey and he drank it and it was fucking poison. So the liquor turned out to have been poisoned, though to have been given to him by the jealous husband of a woman Johnson was involved with, a woman herself, or possibly a different woman who was infuriated. Oh my God, I can't say that. Infuriated at Johnson's giving attention to another woman. So they don't even know if this whiskey story's like, set in stone. But but they think this is what happened maybe. And then those were maybe like the three options of like, that's what happens when you sleep around with like people who have boyfriends and fucking, a different lady every night. Like, one of them is going to get, either the lady's going to get mad that he's sleeping around with other ladies, or they're get jealous, or like the boyfriend's going to kill him. So you got to watch out with that shit, man.
Yeah.
Free rent comes at a price.
Yep.
So Johnson reportedly suffered for 3 days from the poison alcohol before dying. He was 27 years old. His death certificate states that no doctor was present to do an examination, which deepens the mystery, as there was no expert to state if Johnson had indeed been poisoned. Other theories said Johnson wasn't actually poisoned at all, but that he perished due to what? What happens when you're sleeping around a lot?
Chlamydia.
No. I don't think he died from chlamydia. He got syphilis. Syphilis is what Al Capone died from.
Yeah.
It like rots your brain, and
you sit by the pool and look at the water all day. You sit on the diving board.
Or in the prison cell, you know,
Yeah.
if you're on Alcatraz. But like he thought he was being haunted by the people he killed, and they said that was the syphilis. So after Johnson died, they buried him, but there's a problem. No one knows where he was buried due to the fact that he was black, poor, and had no immediate family. His body was buried in an unmarked grave.
Fuck yeah, that's badass.
But where? So there are 3 locations that people believe he is buried. At either Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church near Morgan City, Mississippi, Payne Chapel near Quito, Mississippi, or under a large pecan tree at Little Zion Church north of Greenwood. All 3 locations have monuments for him for his musical accomplishments, but more recently, historians suggest that due to poverty and lack of transportation, Johnson is most likely to have been buried in a pauper's grave or a burial place for the unknown very near to where he died. So I guess
Wouldn't it be easy? He had no offspring, correct?
He had no offspring, because I think both children and both wives died in childbirth.
But he's got siblings. He's got 9 siblings.
Yeah, he had siblings, but that's the thing. He was kind of like...
Couldn't they take like a DNA sampling and figure out...
What the fuck? It's like 1918.
Now.
Oh, like where he is?
Couldn't they just like test each one of those and just figure out which one he was?
I mean, he's bones now. Like, I don't know.
You can't get anything off the bones?
I don't know.
The bones are dry?
Well, that's the thing, too. They don't, like, I don't know even know if they have anything. I mean, maybe they could find a relative
marrow?
to compare it to, but also, like, are they just going to start digging up a shit ton of graves of people who are actually, like, put to rest to be like, is this the jazz musician? Like, is it that important?
I don't know. We have enough people sending their fucking DNA into Ancestry.com. I'm sure they could cross-reference any of that shit and find
but they have to
unmarked graves.
But they have to dig him up. Like,
I found Night Stalker.
He's not dead.
Yeah. Yet.
No, you're thinking of the Golden State Killer.
Same difference.
Anyway,
They killed people.
So, but yeah, they can't just start digging up paupers' graves and being like, "Is this him? Is this him? Is this him?" Because there's probably like a shit ton of bones in there
Not
too.
to be that barbaric.
So, oh, is this him? Is that bad? Hold up a bone. Is this him?
No, I'm just saying. There's a classy way to dig up a grave.
I guess you're right.
And it involves top hats.
Yeah, I was about to say like a top hat, and then you gotta check
Tuxedo?
you gotta check your pocket watch and be like, the sun's coming up soon. Anyway, so Robert Johnson went on to only make 2 studio albums, but still revolutionized blues forever, even creating a new signature subgenre called Delta Blues, because he was like on the Delta of Mississippi or something like that. Robert went on to influence many of the great musicians that we know today, including Eric Clapton, and even having a quote from Keith Richards stating, while listening to Roberts, he said, what did he say? You want to know how good the blues can get? Well, this is it. But it probably sounded like...
That's a great quote. Very informational.
Well, you know, Keith.
Good old Keith.
Keith wasn't known for his words. He's more known for his guitar playing, and the fact that he's always looked 80.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, didn't Keith Richards play like the guy Davy Jones in like Pirates of the Caribbean? People actually, did he? No, he didn't.
One of those old fucks did.
I don't know. If he didn't, then he looks like Davy Jones, which is a testament to how old he's always looked.
No, he didn't. I think he played like Jack Sparrow's grandpa or some shit.
Oh, no, you're thinking of like I don't think that's a character. You're thinking of like William's dad. Like Bootstrap Bill.
Uh,
Anyway, let's not get into. Stop googling shit, dude.
No,
It's
I need this now.
It's gonna get out of hand. Anyway, Keith Richards thought he was like fucking the best musician.
Keith
like,
Richards played Jack Sparrow's father. Fuck you. Close enough.
Fuck. Anyway, he also so his name's did he?
Yes, he did.
Is that Bootstrap Bill?
No, because that would have been Orlando Bloom's dad, right?
Yeah. I'm fucking up. I'm sorry, guys. We're getting off track here.
We do that. Deal with it.
So, although we don't know how Robert truly died, or even if the legend is true, we do know that Robert did write a song titled "Me and the Devil," with the lyrics in the song reading, "I went to the crossroads, fell down on my knees, asked the Lord above,
Sorry.
You really fucked that up. I went to the crossroads, went down on my knees, asked the Lord above, have mercy, now save poor Bob, if you please."
Okay.
So that was a very ominous. A lot of people think that he was referring to the crossroads in life.
Yeah.
But we don't technically know because he died so young.
Yeah.
But I really want to end with this. Also, remember that Robert died when he was 27 years old.
Shit.
Which in
27 years young, my dude.
which in the music world is a very significant number,
Yeah.
as Janis Joplin,
Jimi.
Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison,
Kurt
Cobain, and many others died at that age.
Was Mac Miller?
I don't know. Check really quick.
I know he has a quote saying something about being in the 27 club, but I don't know if he.
He has a quote saying that?
Yeah.
Before he died?
Yeah, it was like an album or two before.
How old, are you checking right now?
He was 26. He was almost 27.
Oh my God. So I guess I just want to end with this. Is it possible that a deal with the devil is more common than we think, and that maybe the devil does not tell us that the deal has an expiration date on it, that at 27 years of age the devil comes to collect what is rightfully his? Well, I don't personally know, but if you want to find out, then maybe take a stroll down a dark dirt road, and if you get to a crossroads, just wait for a deal to present itself.
Ooh.
Spooky, spooky devil on the dirt road. He gives a good deal, but you die at 27.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not talented, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm safe, baby.
Hey, yo. Yeah, I've passed that a long
And
time
if you guys
ago.
want to hear a little bit of Robert Johnson, I'll just want to play. It's going to sound bad coming through here, but like if you put it on the podcast, like
You're going to put the devil on it? You
It's-
got to put it on your phone and put it up to the mic. You can't play from the laptop.
no, just scoot it a little bit closer. This might sound like shit, but like you'll get the gist of it. Like he's a good guy. He's good. Spooky blues, spooky day blues.
I don't think that's coming up at all,
You don't
man.
like that? You don't hear that?
No, I'm looking at the wavelengths. I'm saying it's not.
It's very like old. It's what you think of when you think of like the blues. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like
The old school shit.
Exactly. Like if you've seen like the Dewey Cox story when they fucking have that blues scene where he sings like an old black man. It's so funny, but yeah. So I actually really want to dive into his music more because I've recently started exploring genres that I've never explored before.
Oh, yeah.
And like right now I'm like heavy into country and jazz.
Yeah.
And I feel like blues is very adjacent to jazz, so I really want to listen to like what he has.
That's where it all
there.
started, man.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna check out more of his stuff, especially if he's so legendary
Oh, yeah.
and he's got to deal with the devil. Like, how can I not? So,
Yep.
yeah, that's the story of Robert Johnson and his deal with the devil.
All right. Well, you know what?
What?
I want to go back to Florence, Oregon.
Wait, we went. Is that where the whale was?
The place we talked about a few weeks ago that some people think you can still smell the remains of whale blubber.
Damn, how much shit goes down in that town?
But this is not a story of the beach that is haunted by an exploded whale. We're going to talk about a little bit of a different spirit of sorts. Today I'm going to talk about the Heceta Head Lighthouse.
The Heceta Head.
Heceta,
Okay.
which is spelt Heceta. And I almost mispronounced this the whole episode until I Googled it.
I honestly have done that with like numerous people.
Oh, I know I have too.
What was that fucking guy's name? Oh my god, Boston Corbett, or his real name's
Corbett?
It's spelled Corbett, and I thought it was like French, and they're like Boston Corbett. I'm like, oh my god, I pronounced that wrong the entire fucking time.
Yeah, I'm gonna start trying harder to.
I didn't watch any video because I didn't want them to like influence me. I was just like reading shit. And I was like Boston Corbett, and then I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. So this lighthouse is about 13 miles from the beach where the whale went boom.
Ooh.
And stands about 65 or 56 feet tall, resting on a 205-foot tall headland.
I don't even know if that's an impressive lighthouse. I can't
I don't
tell
think
you
it is.
any size of a lighthouse.
I don't think that's very tall, but it gets the job done. So it's like there's no reason for it to be taller, kind of thing.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So the lighthouse was built in 1894, and it shines a beam of light that is visible for 21 nautical miles, which is about 24 land miles. And I don't know how or why that works, but it just does.
Wait. Did you say 21 nautical miles and 14 land miles?
No, 21 nautical miles and 24 land miles.
Oh, it's further on land.
Somehow, I don't know. The waves.
I would think that the water would be further because it like reflects off the water or something like that. But
Yeah.
maybe fog.
No.
Maybe
That
fog?
that has I don't know. That has nothing to do with
The
it.
ghosts get in the way.
No. So all I'm saying is that 21 nautical miles equals 24 land miles.
I'm so fucking stupid.
Maybe a little bit.
I'm sorry.
But that beam of light would be the strongest and still is the strongest lighthouse on the Oregon coast.
Wait, was it like back in the 18s? Like,
Yep,
I mean,
they built it in 1894.
but it was still like at the 24 mark.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a good lighthouse.
That candle must have been a Yankee candle. That's a strong one. It smells like ocean breeze.
Did they use candles in old lighthouses?
Well, they didn't have light bulbs, did
I think they would do fires where they'd like throw coal and wood. They wouldn't use a fucking candle. Jesus.
Well, is a candle nothing but a small fire? Come on,
It is.
cut me some slack here.
So this lighthouse is a bit nicer than most lighthouses. Have you ever seen the inside of a lighthouse?
Yes, I've been to the inside of the lighthouse. It's
Like-
very beautiful.
Like where people live. Like, ugh, curved walls?
Can't hang shit.
There's no flat walls. Have you ever tried to hang a painting of a grizzled old sailor with one eye, a massive mahogany wood pipe in his mouth? It's damn near impossible.
Why do you need to hang that in a lighthouse that has that inside of it?
It's standard.
That's like me hanging a picture of a buff guy in this house. Like there's one already living in here.
Yeah, Chris has been working
No,
out.
me.
Oh, sorry.
Me.
So the one thing that makes this lighthouse a little bit different than most is the tower was accompanied by a lighthouse keeper's house, which is now a bed and breakfast,
Ooh, yummy.
a barn, and 2 oil storage buildings. So they probably did the thing with oil.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they had 2 of the storage buildings just in case one caught on fire. So yeah, it was a backup. But it's kind of like, how confident are you that there's going to be a fire and just say, fuck it, let's build 2 of them?
It is really bad, actually, if you think about how, like, if they didn't have any oil, if all of it burned up, like, there'd be boats fucking crashing into the shore. Like,
No, I mean, it's good, but it's also like, why not 3? Why not 4? Like, where are you going to stop at this?
that's true.
How often does this happen? Why is this something you're worried about?
Fires were just like,
Well,
shit.
everything, it was, little oil candle light fucking lanterns, and those got knocked over by every horse.
Well, I just feel like also just like if a guy got too horny one night, he'd just like start a fire.
That's every night.
You know, and you just never get caught.
You don't know what his kink is. Don't
know?
shame his kink if it's fire.
Like fire. Like Beavis and Buddies, like fire.
So when the Heceta Head was built,
Where's that name come from?
it's funny you asked that because the actual thing I was reading was named by the Spanish explorer Bruno de Heceta,
Okay.
who explored the Pacific Northwest during the late 18th century.
Oh.
And before the lighthouse, full of lice.
It's called the Head, right?
There's a bunch of just 3rd graders running around in there.
But wait, it's called the Head, right? What's it called?
The Heceta Head Lighthouse.
It would be full of lice, wouldn't
It
it?
would. It really would.
Shave that shit.
So before it was built, the spot it was built on was a popular fishing and hunting grounds by the local Native American tribes in the area. So like I said earlier, the past 20 some years, the lighthouse has served as a bed and breakfast for people who are willing to spend the night with a building of that reputation.
Ooh, on it, but not Indian burial ground, but definitely Indian hunting sacred ground.
Well, I thought that was interesting.
I'm sorry, Native American. That was, I don't know if it's insensitive, but I just want to
Probably dipshit.
correct that.
So the story goes, there was a woman named Rue. Rue was the lightkeeper's wife. This is where things get difficult because they didn't keep records of the wives or children of the lightkeepers. They just didn't give a shit. They're just like, oh, this guy's working there. We don't care if he has a family. We're not going to jot that down somewhere. So like, there's no record of families of the lightkeepers.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's even record of lightkeepers.
Why not?
I
think
don't
it was-
know. I feel like they're forgotten people. They're just like sitting in this lighthouse.
I think it's technically a part of the military. Well, it used to be. At
Really?
least. Yeah, I think so.
It would make sense, but like I remember you talked about that one lighthouse story where they're just like they get put on this island and there's like fucking survive, like be lonely for a long
Yeah.
time.
I
you
mean, that
know?
was an island. This is on the Oregon coast.
Yeah, true, but it also kind of seems like they kept like their own record of history.
Yeah.
Like they're so bored. They're like, here's a journal, right? What's going on?
Yeah, so that actually feeds into what I was about to say. Rue, secluded from Earth, watching the sea alongside of her husband and two children, slowly became more and more stir-crazy, feeling the inevitable dread of cabin fever.
Yeah, fuck that.
There's not much information of the two children aside from the fact that the family is made up of two daughters. On one unfortunate day, one of Rue's daughters got too close to the sea, and we all know how unforgiving the ocean can be. And the family of four quickly became three.
Oh,
It's unclear if the daughter had fallen from the cliff, because it was, big. It was,
was a
205 feet tall.
I know how cliffs work.
Yeah, but I'm saying earlier, I said it earlier, it was 205 feet, tall.
Wait, so she didn't get too close to the sea. She got too close to the cliff.
Who knows? She could have fallen from the cliff, or she could have been pulled into sea. There's one thing that's for sure is that the Oregon coast is a violent shoreline with freezing cold water,
Oh yeah,
and it claims a lot of lives every year.
Has anybody ever gotten too close to the sea and they're like they got too close to the sea and they found a hermit crab and they got a pet and you're like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. I really thought somebody was gonna get. Oh, just kidding, she died. You're like, oh yeah.
Boy, that's a stinker. That was a
it.
bad one. It goes unsaid that the trauma of
you.
losing a young child can be catastrophic for a mother or father. And it is said that there is an unmarked grave up the hillside that is overgrown and has been left undisturbed over the years.
unmarked grave.
Yeah. So there's clearly a grave, but they don't know who it belonged to, and no one's ever touched it really. It's just kind of off
Do
on
you
its
think
own.
that they originally carved a name into it, but like it got weathered with like the ocean?
Easily.
Because I was gonna say
ocean water fucks stuff up.
Yeah, and they definitely have the time to like carve into stone or even like make a wood thing. You know what I mean? Like, I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, that's one thing people don't realize. It's like, I had an uncle who lived really close to the beach in Hermosa, and he was telling me like he was
He
close.
buried a lot of people in unmarked graves there.
Well, he was close, but he wasn't that close. But he was telling me they had a door that faced the ocean, and he said that he'd gone through tons of TVs just because even though they're still like a mile or two from the ocean, the wind with salt water destroyed his TVs.
It fucks up your car,
Yeah.
like your paint job.
Yeah,
It's real. Like
that's why there's a lot of garages out there.
Yeah. What?
A lot
Is
of
that a thing?
yeah.
Oh.
You put your car in the garage and that shit doesn't fuck with it.
Oh.
But that's just like people don't realize living close to like saltwater waves and winds and stuff can like really damage your personal stuff.
Yeah. Fuck shit up.
Yeah. So it's very likely that maybe there was some type of marking that has been destroyed because this could. There's no date to this.
And speaking of, is there a classy way to dig that up?
With
Check if there's an actual
a real long but thin drill,
poke a straw down there so we get a sample.
a little juice box. So as the story goes on, Rue left the lighthouse after the loss of her daughter, but returned in the afterlife to find her deceased daughter.
Wait, she left her husband there and just.
I think the family left,
Oh.
But between the time, no one has a lot of information between the time of the daughter's death and her death. But the day that she died, her spirit went back to the lighthouse trying to find her daughter's
that
spirit.
traumatic event where like you're looking for that person, you know?
So like I was saying, this is a hard story to write because the information hops around a lot. So let's get into where the identity of Rue came from. The lighthouse was used by the Eugene Community College, Lane Community College, go Titans, and the lighthouse was used as a satellite campus for the students from 1970 to 1995.
Satellite campus for what class?
Satellite stuff, I don't know. Just watching the stars.
No, satellite campus means it's off fucking. Are you joking?
Yeah, I was joking.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
They didn't specify like what the classes were for.
Okay, maybe like some nautical or
Yeah,
like
probably.
Marine biology something.
Yeah, probably. So the property holds up to 15 people, and the LCC students stayed. They stayed there on the grounds for school, so like they would like sleep there and stuff.
Oh wow.
And the students all noticed a strange thing here and there, and they were staying up at the lighthouse on Halloween one year. So what does upwards of 15 college students do when they're isolated in a haunted place on Halloween?
Get a Ouija board.
The idiots whipped out the Ouija board.
Oh my god, did they really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, how can you not?
And hopefully it was after a few drinks. I don't know.
But that's the thing. Like, if I was in a haunted place on Halloween, like, I don't even care about the repercussions of like fucking summoning anything. Like,
But this just sounds like such a horror movie. Like
I know.
a bunch of kids at a haunted lighthouse. They pull out the Ouija board on Halloween.
It's
like
life imitating art.
it truly is. It truly is. So once they pulled the board out, it quickly spelled out R-U-E, and the name Rue was given to the spirit that people had been seeing and hearing throughout the location.
Yes.
So what type of weird shit do you see that makes you pull out a fucking Ouija board on freaking Halloween? Visitors from decades ago to today all have detailed sights of a wispy gray figure floating down the hallway with gray hair, wearing a late Victorian era dress.
Wait, they got hallways in this lighthouse?
No, I was telling you, there's the lighthouse, and then there's a house next to it, and there's a barn, and there's two of the oil things that might have been turned into
It's just weird,
living places.
That was for anybody out there who's not thinking of a hallway in a lighthouse, because you forget that. I thought there was there's a door, and then they're not connected by hallways, but it's like outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's a separate house.
Okay, so they are connected though, like out, like that
it's
makes
probably
sense.
like 10 feet away.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes Rue gets a little shy, and she likes to just move things about the house. One of her favorite moves is to reorganize the locked up attic. So the attic is locked.
Dude,
no one can get up there.
Fuck that shit.
But in the middle of the night, people hear like things like scooting across. And,
Dude.
I mean, you're a ghost. You've been there that long. Like, why not move it around a little bit? Like, you know what? I think I'm going to put the dresser here. You know, my table over here, the bed here.
Honestly,
A couple decades go by, you're like, I just need to mix it up a little bit, you know?
anytime I want to like move to a new apartment, I just like move shit around in my room, and I go, okay, that did it. Like, I feel good now. I feel like it's like a new mix.
Yeah,
But
I mean, my living room's completely different. You just saw it.
yeah,
Looks great.
It is. But no, it fucking that shit creeps me out so bad.
Just hearing that chair scoot across the ceiling.
I hate shit in like the ceiling or the basement. Oh, we went over this. What do you think is creepier, the attic or the basement?
Basement.
Okay.
Attic is creepy, but I still think the basement's worse because it's kind of underground.
It's gross,
where
too.
dead people are.
It's gross. Like, attic's dry.
You can jump out of a window in the attic. You can't do
you're
anything.
trapped.
You're trapped in the
Well,
basement.
you got that little window that you have to squeeze through.
Yeah, but there's still windows.
Yeah, I guess
and that's
you're right.
that's natural
Basement-
lighting.
But like
You
attic
can
is
yell
like,
for help better.
it's a different kind of scary because
It is.
basement is gross scary where like somebody's like lurking like covered in moss, and then like attic is like dry scary, like it's an artifact up there, like a puppet or something.
Lots of cobwebs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We need a good
Rocking horses.
We need a good spooky figure for just the house, you know? Mm-hmm. Like you.
I could be the house spooker.
You could just walk around the house naked, and everyone's like, "Did you see that?
You can get more roasted donuts. I need the powdered donuts.
I'm gonna start a fire!" Oh God, the ghost is horny.
I want to dance around the flames. So many times people will report that they see an indent on the bed,
What?
and it looks like someone invisible is sitting on the bed looking out the window that directly faces the sea.
Oh, fuck that.
So it could be a mother looking for her lost daughter.
Why do ghosts give me the shivers? Fuck that.
That's their whole purpose, you dingus.
Hate that. I hate that.
So, one of the most startling encounters with Rue came from a workman named Jim Anderson, who was cleaning windows of the attic in 1975, when he noticed a reflection in the freshly washed window. Jim spun around to be face to face with an apparition of an elderly woman wearing a late Victorian style gown.
That old wispy bitch.
Jim quickly fled the house and refused to return for a few days. When Jim returned to work, he refused to go in the attic for obvious reasons. He actually accidentally broke a window when he fled the attic.
Oh.
Throwing bows, I don't know, cracked one of the windows. And so he repaired it from the outside, like refusing to go in. So he's like, I'm just going to do it from the.
I wouldn't even repair that shit. I'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
So when he repaired the window from the outside, he refused to go inside. So he left the broken glass on the attic floor. He's like, I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
So that night, the house caretakers could hear the sound of glass getting scraped across the attic floor. But the caretakers did not know about the broken glass until they discovered the glass swept into a neat pile the following morning.
Oh, they're so tiny up in that attic.
Yeah.
She's like, you fucking with my organization.
Yeah.
The glass pile's supposed to go over here by the vase.
I can sweep it, but I can't pick it up.
I have my ghost broom.
My ghost broom, but I can't pick it up.
They always
Where's my daughter?
I hate when I'm like somebody drops something and I'm like picking up glass with my fingers, but they're like the big chunks and somebody goes, don't use your hands to pick that up. I'm like, bitch, I know what I'm doing.
It's always
I'm
when
not
you look
picking up
away.
these tiny pieces.
It's always when you look away to yell at them that you cut yourself.
It's
and
true.
You're the asshole.
It's true. Now I'm a ghost.
Yeah. So, many occasions, items will go missing in the house, but not for too long, and things are typically returned or found in a new location.
I feel like it's just like a thief who's just like, oh, ghost took your wallet. They're like, we found it in your bag, and you're like, ghost does that sometimes. Ghost been hiding a lot of shit in my bag. Ghost been hiding a lot of shit in my bag recently.
Where's my cell phone? I don't know. It goes. Oh, I found it. Why was the last app open? My photos. It was the ghost. I don't know. Wanted to see outside the house.
He didn't. He just wanted to make sure you weren't naked in none of them.
So, and of course, the usual stories of doors shutting, chairs moving, lights turning on and off, and the classic stuff. Chandelier shaking. I don't know if they have a chandelier, but
Yeah. No, it's a lighthouse. Come on.
it's the house of the lighthouse. Come on. But the most important thing to take away from this story is that you shouldn't be afraid to spend time at this lighthouse, at their bed and breakfast, because there have never been any violent attacks from Rue. She's just a sad soul looking for her beloved daughter she lost all those years ago.
She just misses her baby.
Yeah. So I guess the bed and breakfast, they don't advertise it at all. And their statement is we don't have to advertise it because people see it for themselves.
What do you mean? They don't advertise the ghost, or they don't advertise the bed and breakfast at all?
They don't advertise the ghost at all. They don't say anything about it being haunted. It's just such a word
That's
of
a
mouth
little
thing.
fucked up.
But it's I don't think you're gonna be online trying to book this place and not notice the stories.
They're being cocky about it and being like, oh, it doesn't matter. We don't have to promote it because these ghost watchers, they'll come. We don't have to lead with ghosts because they know and they'll see it. But you forget about the people who show up there being like, that'd be kind of fun to spend the night in a lighthouse, and they go there and they're like, holy shit, there's someone sitting on the edge of the bed.
Yeah. There's also stories of people saying that they there was one lady whose quote was I was sleeping and a spirit got into bed with me.
Horny spirit.
And
he started a fire
and laid next to me for a few hours, and then she was like, I just felt honored to be chosen to hang out with, kind of thing. Which is pretty funny. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's if you're gonna spend time with a ghost,
it's a ghost groupie.
She sounds nice. She ain't gonna try to smother you with her Victoria era dress.
I guess you're right. Where's the papa? I guess it's only the mom.
No
'cause
one-
she was,
no
she
one
was
knows-
most dramatically affected by it, huh?
Well, no one knows who the father was. There's no record of what light take like
I
the
thought
light guy.
I'm sorry. I thought you said that the light takers had good record, but the
They
women
do.
and children don't.
They do, but there's no record to say whose husband it was.
Oh, there's no connection.
They don't know who the husband was or who the father
Oh,
was.
so we can only like guess, basically.
Yeah, the only thing we know is like that was her name and that her daughter died by drowning.
Holy
basically.
shit.
And everything else has been kind of put together through the years of people like staying there and trying to connect with the spirit.
Do you know how many rooms are in this bed and breakfast?
It said it could keep it about 15 people.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought it was just. I mean, are any of the rooms like shitty? Like one of them, you have to like sleep in the.
I didn't
fucking
look it up
thing
on
and-
Airbnb.
You have to sleep on the deck of like the top of the lighthouse.
Shit, I get denied on Airbnb. The last place I tried to book, they're like, what are your intentions? And then they just didn't message me back on the 24-hour
Are you
thing.
serious?
Yeah.
What are your intentions?
Yeah, it was weird.
You say to marry your daughter?
They're like, they said they're like, oh, we see you only have one review on your account. Like, are you new? And I was just like, no, like we just usually use my girlfriend's account, but she was in class, so I had to do it myself.
You're like, I'm not new. I just murdered the guy who had the
Yeah.
account. Like, what?
Yeah,
the
and they're
fuck?
like, what are your intentions? We're like, we're going to like a music festival.
They make it seem like Airbnb has been around for like 20 years, and they're like, "Why are you just getting involved in Airbnb?" You're like, "Cause I've booked hotel rooms," and they're
Yeah.
like, "Okay, you don't sound like a guy who's ever been in someone else's house." You're like, "Shut the
Needless
fuck
to
up."
say, if you've got an Airbnb thing, let me rent from you for a night. Let's build my credit up so people think I'm legit.
I won't get naked and start a fire. I promise. This time I won't.
And if I do, it won't be in the house.
It'll be at your oil shed.
Yeah. You got oil sheds, right?
Anyway, I think that's our stories for today. I think we've wrapped it up quite nicely with the deal with the devil and a ghosty woman who just likes to stare at the ocean sometimes. So thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it when you do. If you could, we'd really appreciate it. Also, if you could rate, review, and subscribe, that's amazing on Apple Podcasts, or just listen and
so
share with your
good.
friends. That's also good too. We appreciate that.
I saw a thing that was on Spotify. Another podcast posted that apparently Spotify is adding a thing that you can leave like voice messages
What?
to people. Yeah.
What?
We need to look into that because you guys could leave us some voice messages.
I don't know how that works. I
don't know.
I emailed them the other day. I was like, "Yo, how do we get like on like a discovered list?" And they're just like, "Not gonna happen, fuckers." No, there's like, "Oh, we take the most popular ones," and I was like, "Okay, well."
That makes sense. Promote the ones that people are already listening to.
They're like, "Okay, new and noteworthy." Some of these podcasts are like a year old, and there's like you still have Conan's podcast up on new and noteworthy. I'm like, "Get the fuck."
yeah, they
outta
haven't put
here."
out an episode in like God knows how long.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. But also, we got merch. If you guys want some merch, go check out that. We got some shirts and some mugs. And also, if you have some spooky stories of your own or like weird stories that you know of or murders near your town or like a ghost near your town, like send it over at campstrangepodcast@gmail.com or just go to our website, click the contact tab, and you can send it over to us, and we would gladly read it on air because we love all these stories that you guys send us, and you'd be doing our job for us. So, we don't have to write a story. You're writing it for us. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
You get on the air with your story. We don't have to do work. David could get naked, start a fire. I'm buff. It's all good.
Those things happen.
They're real. Those are real. So, and David, what else do we have?
We got Mike's secret stuff from Space Jam.
Oh wow, that's good. We got the stuff that special effects guys, the gel they put on themselves and they light themselves on fire like in Game of Thrones.
Oh,
But we do it naked, so like when we start the fire, we can like fully go in on it.
Can you buy that over the counter? Where do you buy that?
At a lighthouse.
Oh, okay. We've got your grandmother's Spotify playlist.
A lot of logins in Messina on there.
I don't even know what that means.
We got Swiss cheese with no holes in it. Yep.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I don't think so.
They should make that. I hate it when my mustard goes through them holes. We've got your bottom jaw.
We have pancreas jelly.
You like your jellies this time.
Did I do jelly last time?
Well, you had the jelly that you can set on fire.
Oh yeah, I'm jelly heavy right now.
Yeah. We have a pet coyote for you.
We have jelly bellies.
Come on, man. Come here. We got poison oak by the bushels.
Wait, poison oak?
By the bushels.
By the bushels.
For your enemies, you plant it in their front yard.
They're like, oh, this mint tastes delicious.
But only ankle high.
We have a necklace that makes your head 4 times smaller, and now you could be a Goomba.
I was gonna say, are you talking about Goombas? God damn it! We got those boots from the Super Mario movie that makes you jump real high. The opposite of moon boots.
I remember that. We have the guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, who was also Bowser, who was the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, who was like a known pedophile.
You talking about John Hopkins? No, what was his
John
name?
Hopkins?
No,
the
that was
fucking doctor?
His last... Oh, no, Hooper. Something Hooper.
Dude, that guy's like a fucking...
He was?
He's like a pedophile or something like that.
Hooper was?
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
That creepy... Yeah, he looks like one.
Because they all look the same.
Anyway, I think that... Are you checking right now?
No, I've got candy with ants inside of it.
We got ants with candy inside of them.
I've got a Ford Explorer that is upside down.
I got a Tiny Tim poster.
Is it signed?
Nope.
I've got one large antelope.
I have a Lego castle that you could step on and scream at your kids for.
Why
Why'd you leave that there?
I've got...
Why'd you leave that there?
I've got interruptions.
We done?
I've got a mask that has no face.
Okay, you're done. Okay, thank you guys. We love you for listening. Thank you so much. Please stay tuned. We have more good stuff on the way that's not just a mask with no face.
Yeah, my laptop is overheating now. It's getting real loud.
I can hear that shit. Okay, Dave, you got anything else to say?
Don't forget to poke holes in your bug's little home that you built for him.
And don't forget to stay strange.